Chinese automakers have been making a global presence for some time now. In Brazil, for example, brands like Chery and JAC Motors are well known. In addition to the automotive industry, Chinese presence is evident in other areas, with products from companies like Xiaomi and Huawei becoming increasingly popular worldwide. One prominent Chinese company is BYD, which stands for Build Your Dreams. Many see it as the next Tesla, with its impressive rise in the automotive sector. With a high market value, BYD is ready to directly compete with Tesla in the electric vehicle segment. BYD is a major success in China and is present in several countries, including Brazil. Its proposition is to offer high-quality fully electric cars at competitive prices. This approach makes sense given that BYD, founded in the 1990s, was originally specialized in electric batteries, such as lithium-ion batteries. Currently, in addition to being a leader in the clean energy sector, BYD has also achieved impressive milestones in the automotive industry, surpassing even Tesla in some aspects. However, BYD's journey has not been easy. The company has faced various controversies, including accusations of forced labor in car production and questions about the quality of its models. Nevertheless, the numbers speak for themselves. BYD seems to be on its way to achieving something that traditional automakers have not been able to, dominating the electric vehicle market. So, if you are not familiar with BYD yet, it's time to get to know one of the greatest successes of the Chinese automotive industry. Despite all the difficulties faced, BYD continues to grow and has the potential to dominate the market, perhaps even surpassing Tesla. The electric vehicle industry in China is the largest in the world, accounting for a staggering 60% of global electric vehicle manufacturing. According to recent statistics from 2021, the eastern country exported nearly 500,000 of these cars. This achievement was made possible by the increase in sales in regions such as Europe and Southeast Asia. However, China's relationship with electric vehicles did not begin with cars but with two-wheeled vehicles. During the 1990s, motorcycles and bicycles were predominant on Chinese roads, especially gasoline-powered scooters. Electric bicycles had already existed in China since the 1980s, but the technology at that time was insufficient to meet the transportation demands in the metropolises. In addition, the battery life of these bikes was short, and their price was high compared to a regular scooter. With technological advancements in the 2000s, China witnessed a growth in the use of electric bicycles and motorcycles, encouraged by the government. This movement aimed to alleviate heavy traffic in cities and reduce pollution emissions, a significant problem in China. Two-wheeled vehicles provided China with an experience that favored the development of electric cars. Electric cars also began receiving government incentives after the turn of the century. In 2009, China, already a leader in conventional vehicle manufacturing, decided to invest in electric vehicles, accelerating production and industry development through state programs. The strategy had two main goals: foster the industry in cities benefiting from initial investments and encourage the population to adopt electric vehicles. With that in mind, China started offering subsidies to local companies, strengthening its domestic market, initially focused on the sale of passenger vehicles. From 2009 to 2020, over $14 billion were granted to Chinese companies, along with a series of tax exemptions for consumers. These direct investments in companies and infrastructure accelerated the Chinese electric car industry, achieving the expected growth rates during the decade. A 30% increase in demand for electric cars is estimated, and in 2022 alone, China sold over 20 million electric passenger vehicles. Amidst this boom, some companies stood out, and BYD is one of them. The brand is already considered capable of surpassing Tesla, But the question remains, does it have what it takes to challenge Elon Musk? Headquartered in Shenzhen, BYD is a Chinese company that has gained prominence beyond the borders of its nation. This manufacturer has been in the spotlight for surpassing Tesla in terms of sales, becoming the world's largest electric vehicle manufacturer. In 2022, BYD sold over 640,000 electric vehicles globally, surpassing the 564,000 sold by Elon Musk's Tesla. BYD's journey began in 1995 with the company's founding by Wang Chuanfu. Initially, the company produced rechargeable batteries, later diversifying into batteries for mobile electronic devices and solar energy modules. Entry into the automotive sector occurred in 2003, coinciding with China's start of investment in the electric car industry. BYD's entry into the automotive sector was made possible by acquiring a significant stake in the financially struggling Chinese state-owned automaker 11 and Qinchuan Auto Company. At that time, electric battery-powered cars were viewed with skepticism, but Wang Chuanfu saw them as an opportunity, considering BYD's consolidation in the battery sector. However, the change in focus was not well received by some investors, and the company's stocks plummeted. BYD only resumed investing in electric vehicles 6 years later, in 2009, when the Chinese government requested the production of 1,000 electric buses for Hunan province as part of an incentive program for the local electric vehicle industry. In 2012, BYD began investing in the research and development of heavy-duty electric vehicles, becoming one of the first companies to venture into the electric truck segment. So far, the company has delivered over 13,000 electric trucks to countries such as the United States, Canada, Brazil, and Australia. While Tesla chose to produce luxury cars in a highly competitive market, BYD decided to focus on its domestic market, especially utility vehicles. This has proven to be a wise decision, as China is one of the largest vehicle markets in the world. BYD believes that if China continues to invest in research and provide subsidies to companies looking to develop, it will be ready to phase out conventional vehicles by 2030. Despite its success in the domestic market, the company constantly seeks opportunities abroad, especially in emerging countries. In addition to developing economies, European countries are also eager to eliminate fossil fuel-powered vehicles due to the European Union's commitment to ban gasoline and diesel cars by 2035. In Brazil, BYD established itself in 2017 with the inauguration of its first 100% electric bus factory in Campinas, São Paulo. The electric buses manufactured in Brazil have a battery range of 250 to 300 kilometers, allowing them to operate in cities for most of the day and only be recharged at night. However, BYD's plans for Brazil are more ambitious. The company aims to dominate the Brazilian electric vehicle market, which is still largely unexplored. Since 2021, BYD has been selling 5 car models in Brazil: Han, Tan, D1, Yuan Plus, and the plug-in hybrid Song. The Chinese company is in negotiations with the government of Bahia to take over the factories of the American automaker Ford, which announced the end of production in Brazil in 2021. BYD's initial plan is to invest around 3 million reais to open new factories in Brazil and start producing 100% electric passenger cars by 2025. BYD's race in Brazil to become the first 100% electric vehicle manufacturer is just beginning. And it seems that Chery, another Chinese brand already established in the Brazilian gasoline car market, promises to soon enter the competition for electric vehicles. BYD has been achieving remarkable milestones in the automotive industry. In China, the company is leading the electric vehicle revolution. It has even overcome the industry's previous negative reputation in the country, where reports of low quality and high recall rates were common. The landscape has changed. Like the rest of the Chinese industry, BYD has turned the page. Customer satisfaction is its primary goal. Most of its customer base is at home, in a market that grows every day. China is a country with around 500 million drivers. With the rising popularity of electric vehicles, BYD has grown alongside it. Their prices are more attractive than the competition. In megacities like Beijing and Shanghai, where traffic is heavy, a car with high acceleration is of little relevance. The Han sedan, one of BYD's best-selling models, is about $18,000 cheaper than Tesla's base model, the Y. BYD has an advantage over Tesla not only in prices. They produce most of the parts used in their cars. When they rely on suppliers, most of them are Chinese. This kept them producing during the pandemic, unlike many automakers that suffered from parts shortages. Tesla, for example, had to halt production at the Gigafactory in Shanghai due to parts shortages. This resulted in a loss of about 2,000 cars per day. A huge setback considering that China is the largest electric vehicle market in the world, accounting for over 30% of total electric vehicles registered. But not everything is rosy for BYD. The company faces a series of lawsuits that threaten its reputation. There are suspicions of poor quality and weakness in their vehicles, echoing a dark past of the Chinese automotive industry. There are also accusations of stealing designs from other brands, resulting in models that closely resemble those of American automakers. BYD has been accused of copying designs from Toyota and Mercedes-Benz. For example, BYD's F1 model has been compared to the Toyota Aygo due to its striking similarity in design. There are also allegations that BYD received subsidies from the Chinese government for the production of 600 electric buses that were never delivered. The story came to light after the suicide of a manager from two BYD dealerships whose businesses were heavily indebted. In 2020, BYD sued Vice for defamation. The agency claimed that the automaker used forced labor of Uyghurs in its supply chain. Uyghurs are an oppressed ethnic group by the Chinese government. BYD denied the accusations. Another problem the company faces is pollution at one of its factories. Local residents reported that the emissions from the factory caused nosebleeds and throat irritation. They gathered to protest and demand a resolution to the problem. Furthermore, BYD customers have called for an expansion of a battery recall. Despite benefiting from the replacement, customers wanted more transparency from the company. Despite all these adversities, BYD remains steadfast. The company, which made a profit of $788 million in the third quarter of 2022, continues to bet on its diverse product line. Even Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, recognized the potential of the Chinese electric vehicle industry. He stated that the next big rival to Tesla will come from China. Was Musk predicting an epic battle between Tesla and BYD? And to find out what might happen with this influx of electric cars being produced, along with the existing customer demand, watch the video that's playing on your screen right now because it shows the outcome of this in the Chinese market, which has been ahead of us for years. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel with notifications on, as I post new videos every day. See you in the next one.